Hello, students and everyone. Today, my topic is business communication. Let's start with the business communication unit first. And today, I covered the meaning and importance of communication. So, first of all, you just want to know the what is communication. Basically, communication. मीनिंग ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन की तरफ अगर हम जाते हैं तो द वर्ड कम्युनिकेशन इज एन derived from the Latin words communico, which means to share. It is the act of sharing thought, opinion, and ideas. Basically, it is two-way process. There one person is a speaker, another person is listener. So, on the basis of this, we can say that communication is a process, and in which there is a some person or which provide the resources sources, or like as a sender is a person who send the messages to the other persons, and another person is receiver who receive the messages and encoding decode that these messages and study. So on in this way you can say that the message of the communication, like communication is the process by which exchange of means, fact, ideas, opinion, or emotions with other peoples. So communication basically it is a process in which we exchange some ideas, facts, and other things, and it is a part of exchange thoughts, facts, ideas in an empathetic manner, and so that the persons at the other end receive and understand the subject matter, which involved clearly and perceive it in the same way it was intended by the sender. तो ये भी ध्यान देना है कि इन जिस प्रोसेस में जिस तरीके से जो है कम्युनिकेशन किया जाएगा उसी प्रोसेस में उसी टर्म्स में कम्युनिकेशन को रिसीव भी मैसेज को रिसीव भी करना होता है. नाउ वी मूव्स टू द डेफिनेशंस ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. So, according to the Peter Little says that communication is the process by which the information is transmitted between individuals or organizations, so that it results in an understanding the response. So, according to him, the communication basically it is a process in which we transform or exchange the information and other thoughts and ideas between the individuals and other organization between the organization. So that's why it is a process. According to W.H. Newman, he is another important person, and communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinion, or emotion by two or more persons. So this simple definition given by the as W.H. Newman. So it is an just process of exchange of facts, ideas, opinion, and emotions. And third one, in simple words, we can say that the communication is the action of conveying or exchanging information and ideas. It is a very simple term. Communication is just the process of exchange, or just action of conveying and exchanging of information and ideas. In other words, the communication can be defined as the process through which two or more persons come to exchange ideas and understanding among them. So this is the another thing. On the basis of above definition, we can say that these definition involves two aspects of communication. The first aspect is there is an something is what basically which is transmitted, such as facts, feeling, ideas, thoughts, and emotion. It is known as a something. That means communication is that action in which we involve some facts, feelings, thoughts, emotions to share with other peoples and transmit it to the organizations and other individuals and persons and groups of the individuals and other things. Second, the aspect is the definitions emphasize the understanding element in the communication. Basically, understanding element is just defined for the one person is sending some messages to another person and another person is not able to understand the things, so that means the communication is not completed. If the one person or one individual or some organization send the messages to the other peoples and other organization and other individuals and they understand as same they receive, then it is it is a communication process and complete communication. And on the basis of this definition we can say that business communication, now we talking about the business communication because you all are the business administration students and has become an absolute requirements for the all organization and various regions. So these are the some reasons we can say that why communication is necessary or why the communication is required for the organization. The first one is it act as the basis of the organizational growth and in terms of the human and public relation. So it is necessary for the organizational growth in terms of in terms of public relation and other things to develop the public relation. Second is it widen the outlook of peoples, making them understanding the business scenario from broader perspective, we can say. So to understand the people's understanding and to develop the business scenario, it is necessary to communicate with each other. And the third one is it enhance the overall relationship maintenance and capabilities of the organization. So relationship maintenance is necessary, but relationship maintenance is possible through the communication only. So business communication is important. It's empower the organization to handle the public relation in the effective manner. So it is also helpful to handle the public relation, and it is increases the personal productivity and confidence of all the in the of all in the organization by the multifold levels. So that now I am talking about the objectives of business communication. There are various objectives which is fulfilled by the business communication for the organization, individuals and other peoples and group of individual, government and etc. So lots of the terms in which the communication is important, but in terms of business communication there are various objectives of business communication. The first one is information, second is advice, third is order, fourth suggestion, fifth persuasion, sixth education, seventh warning, eighth motivation, ninth counseling, and 10th is moral boosting. So these are the basic objectives of communication. The first one is business, it is known as information. So basically one of the important objectives of communication is passing or receiving the information about the particular facts and details, and in large group have to be informed. Meeting may be called also, so that's why it is also the communication. So another objective is advice. Second one is advice. Advice is a kind of information also, and it means the opinions given as to the action to be taken, and advice should be related to the specified piece of work. So basically advice should be given by the subordinate to the superior to the subordinates and other persons and top level to down levels, bottom level, middle levels, etc. So this is the advice to given to the all the persons, and sometimes it is come from the bottom to top also. And third is order. Order is another an authoritative communication, and it should be clear and complete. So communication process should be clear and completed in terms of authoritative communication. So it execute should be possible. Then the fourth is suggestion. Suggestion means the prospering the something for the acceptance or rejection also. So subordinates normally give the suggestion for to the superiors. So some suggestions also come from the subordinates. Fifth one is this is known as persuasion. Persuasion basically promotion a person to act mostly in positive way. So it is promoting a person, so not promotion, but it is promoting a person to act in a most possible way or most positive way, in known as the persuasion. And persuasion is an important objectives of communication also. And sixth one is education. So education, how business communication is educate. So basically education involves the imparting instruction, characters building, and increasing and enriching the mental facilities, giving training to the human beings, etc. It aims to knowledge and improving the skills also. It is known as persuasion. Other is warning. Warning is the basically forceful means of communication, and it gives oral or written warning like no smoking, wares and other things, and dangerous for the uh, health, etc. And so this is the warning. So this is also an communication and important for the organization. And eighth one is motivation, was basically interest mm, on job in the minds of the employees. Creation, interest creation on towards the job in the minds of the communication employees. It is known as the motivation. When we increase or when we create the interest of job in within the employees, in the minds of employees. So when we provide the lots of facilities and communicate with easily and formative way, formal way, so that's when a motivation is created. And motivation works does not need much supervision. So basically motivation is not required for the supervision. And ninth is counseling. Counseling is basic, objective and impersonal, where advice is personal touch. Counseling is almost professional, and whereas advice is not so. जहाँ एडवाइस काम नहीं करती है वहाँ काउंसलिंग हम कह सकते हैं, where there is a counseling need of counseling for the communication. And 10th is moral boosting. It refers to in terms of spirit and cooperation of peoples for a common purpose. So when we work for together and we do something for new and for a particular vision and mission of the organization, then moral boosting is also necessary for the employees and workers and all levels of the employees. So moral is also said to be high when workers are highly motivated. So this is all about all the objectives of the communication. And now we discuss about the communication process. Basically this is the communication process. And the person, it is known as sender, this, and there is a source of communication or source of message also, ideas, facts, opinion, etc. So sender create and in their minds and is sent to the particular other person. So when the sender send the message, the first thing is message, second is channels, from which channel he send the information, and then receiver decoding these messages and then provide feedback, and through the channel means or intermediate जो भी हम use करते हैं, then send to the senders. So this is a particular process of communication, and there is a noise and barriers also in the communication process. So basically communication is a systematic and a continuous process of telling and listening and understanding. So communication process, it is a important communication terms, and communication is basically systematic and continuous process of telling, listening and understanding. Though that's why it involves a sender and the transmission of the messages through the selected channels, medium, and a receiver also. So basically there are three main important parts: sender, message, channels, and receiver. And other thing, it is also two-way communication process concerned with sharing and understanding information in the effective manner. So basically source or sender, the sender is an origin of the idea or message, and it may be individual or group or an organization, and the sender conceive the idea and prepare the messages, select the channels, and transmitted the message to the receiver. Then second one is message. Message basically it is a signal that triggers a response from the receiver, and it may be verbal, or written or spoken, or non-verbal, it may be body language, silence, appearance, sound, and etc. So message may be any kind. And decoding, between the sender and message, there is an encoding. Encoding, basically it is a translation of an idea into the message appropriate for the transmission by the sender, is called encoding. While encoding a message, one must consider, first thing is what content to be included, and how will the receiver interpret it, and how it may affect one's relationship. Then when we encode the messages, then these three things are keep in mind. And fourth one is channel. Channel, basically it refers to the means through which the message travel from the sender to the receiver. So there is a lots of channels like TV channel, TV, newspaper, radio, and telephone, emails, and other sources of correspondings. Like nowadays there is a WhatsApps, and another sources of communication, message to be communicated, and important of the message, and numbers of receiver, availability of channels, cost and effectiveness of channel. So all these factors are affect the channel selection. Fifth is receiver. Receiver means it may be an individual, group of individual or organization, firms, and other persons whom the message is intended. And another is decoding. Decoding is, it refers to the process through which the receiver translate the encoded message and symbols, and understanding it and interpret it to from the certain meanings. And then feedback. Feedback, basically it is a reaction or response of the receiver to the message sent by the sender, and response can be based upon the clear interpretation of the message, or an misunderstand or misinterpretation message, etc. So this is on this basis, so that on the basis of this. And there is some noise also, sometimes message sending, like in telephonically communication, there is a noise, and here and there, and some barriers also. Sometimes internet facilities is not available, sometimes telephone lines is not good, and other things. So lots of things are there. So some like this kind of things, communication processes. And now the importance of communication. Basically these are some basic importance of communication. Business communication is an indispensable component of all management function, like motivation, supervision, direction, planning, and all requires effective communication. So all these things require the effective communication. Without effective communication, all the functions of management is not good working together, and it links superiors to the subordinates, and fosters mutual understanding among them. Third, it is a two-way system or process that stimulate the initiatives and creativity among the employees, etc. And fourth one is, in an effective communication, eliminate the possibilities of misunderstanding, thereby leading to the job satisfaction and other increased morale of the employees, and etc. As a result, sound human relationship within an organization is developed. Fifth point is, an effective communication is also necessary to the build the meaningful relationship between the management and workers also. And sixth one is, business communication helps to maintaining the public relation by creating the and projecting a positive image of the organization to the customers and government and other interested parties. And seventh and important, business communication is imperative for the effective decision making also. So on the basis of these important points, they discuss the significance and importance of communication in short, basically. So this is all about the basics of communication, meaning, definition, and so process of communication, importance of communication, and objectives of communication, etc. Thank you for listening.